For the second time in 3 days, President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin have spoken by telephone. The latest call happening today when Putin offered thanks for U.S. intelligence, which helped prevent an ISIS-inspired attack on St. Petersburg. For more on this unusual series of calls and the reasons behind them, let's bring in CNN's Nick Robertson live for us now out of Moscow. So, Nick, what do you know about this call today and how U.S. intelligence helped prevent a planned terrorist attack in Russia?
Sure. So today was President Putin's turn to call President Trump and thank him. Of course, late Thursday night, President Trump had called President Putin to thank him for mentioning how well President Trump had been doing with the U.S. economy. What President Putin had to say this evening was quite quite astounding in many ways. What he was doing was calling President Trump to thank the CIA for providing intelligence information to stop an ISIS-planned attack in St. Petersburg, major city here in Russia. The target was the Kazan Cathedral and public places close to it. Now, what we understand about this terror attack perhaps comes from an announcement made by the federal state security services here on Friday, because they announced on Friday that 7 men from an ISIS terror team that were plotting attacks in St. Petersburg at major city institutions and places around about it, using a suicide vest, using IEDs. The police, in their raid, catching these 7 men, were able to collect weapons, ammunition, terrorist paraphernalia, and also explosives as well. So these seem to be the one in the same incident. So it seems that President Putin is thanking President Trump for stopping a suicide bomber IED type attack on a tourist area in St. Petersburg that could have led to shooting on the streets, shooting in crowded public areas, as well as an attack using explosives inside the cathedral. And that attack had been expected to happen on Saturday. And one of the clues as to how the CIA may have got involved in this and known about it, what we learned from the Russian state security services on Friday was that this ISIS team was being led by a team leader outside the country, outside Russia, communicating with this ISIS cell using the Telegram messenger application.
And then, Nick, do you know whether there was any hesitation from Russia on trusting U.S. intelligence?
It's not clear at the moment. What we have heard from the Russian side this evening is that they now say that they would provide any information and intelligence immediately to the U.S. side if they understood that the United States or its citizens or its interests were under threat from a terrorist attack. So that commitment comes this evening. But also there's an insight from John Huntsman, who's the U.S. ambassador here. On Friday, he posted, and this is when those arrests originally happened. Of course, at that time, we had no idea of the CIA's connection to the arrest. But on Friday, John Huntsman, the U.S. ambassador, tweeted a video posting saying that he expected improved cooperation between the United States and Russia, and one of those areas where there would be improvements was over security. So, I think we're beginning to see an aligning of bits and pieces of this jigsaw, but it's very clear here that this is something that President Putin wanted to thank President Trump for, and seems to have elicited a statement from the Russians saying that they would return the favor if the situation were reversed.